Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got something in the mail, and it's basically going to be like the third modification I've done to my car. I probably haven't shown you guys the other ones yet, but this is something from Billet Technology. I strongly recommend, if you do plan on keeping your car for a long time, you should probably consider looking at this. I'm going to unwrap this so you guys can see what it is. Okay, so this is pretty much everything that's going to come in the package for this Billet Technology catch can. Now this is basically what it looks like here. This is the raw aluminum, I believe. I didn't want any color just because I already have an orange heads on the car. I didn't want to put other colors in there, so I just want to kind of keep things simple. This should match the supercharger pretty nicely at the very least. But yeah, so far this is where it connects to the engine. I believe it connects to the engine block. And then the hoses connect to these connections here, and these both will connect to the car basically. So I'll show you guys how to do this. Now you do have a nut and a locking nut here. This is basically what's going to connect this to the basically to the engine. So like I said, this should be pretty easy. I did watch a video online, and this is just kind of a part one to how well this will work. I will definitely time this too. I'll do like a 1 month to see how much this will catch from the engine, and then maybe I'll let it go 2 months, and then I'll check it, and then depending on how much is in there at that time, I might even go 90 days to see just how much oil can get caught in this. Now I will be honest with you guys, I already have 1,000 miles on this car. I've only had it for about a week now, and I did that just so I can get out of the break-in period, so now I can basically launch this car and have fun with it. But stay tuned. I'm gonna go to another spot, and we are going to install this, so let's get to it. I almost forgot, I wanted to show you inside of the catch can too. So that's basically the can, and then this is pretty much like the housing, I guess, I don't know, or the lid. This is the lid, and then this is like the top for it. That's the best way to put it. But I just want to show you guys just a better look at this thing. This is really high quality too. Thank you, Billet Technology, for something high quality. I don't think that this was that expensive. This is like $150. I'll show you guys online what I bought, that way if you want to order. But I strongly recommend, you know, I know that this is kind of like a hit or miss for some people, but when you have an $80,000 car, if you can offset some type of emissions to make your car run cleaner, trust me when I say this, you probably want to put this on the list of things to do. So check them out. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and figure out how to put this on the car, and then we'll go from there, okay? Alright, so as I mentioned, I did get this through Billet Technology. They're not paying me to do this video. I'm just giving them a shout out because this is a high quality part. Now the one I chose was a satin. It's like a silver raw aluminum. I bought this one just because I want to match the supercharger since it's up front. And I did just get the black PCV hoses. They're free. Now you can add the braided lines or the color match ends if you like. I mean, I'm cheap. I just wanted something quick, and this is cheap peace of mind, so nothing actually was needed for me. So I think I got this $170 ship. The price on this is $155. Now the last thing I'll say is this: the reason why I added this is because I had a Volkswagen GLI that I did not put this on, and I did check the intake valves of the engine because I had someone that could look in for me and break it down for me real quickly. And I remember telling myself, next time I get a car, I will definitely do this, especially if it's going to be a high performance car. So this is just good peace of mind, especially if you're going to keep this car a long time. Now I don't know how long I'm going to keep this car, but whoever gets it from me, I mean, hey, it'll be good for them to know that I did all these little things to keep the car running good and keeping the engine clean for them. So let's get back to the video. Alright guys, so I have both of the hoses and I have the connections. So the 90-degree head is going to go on a shorter hose, and your straight connection is going to go on the longer one. And just to kind of give you an idea what it looks like, that's what it's going to look like right there. So this is the longer one, and then this is going to be the shorter hose. Now what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get a 17mm ratchet. I'm going to try this. I don't know if this is going to work. I may have to go get a wrench. That's a 17mm, but we'll check it out and see what happens. But before you can start your installation, you do have to pull off this engine cover here. The way the guy did it online, all he did was pull from this side here and then pull up. And like I said, that's pretty much how it goes on. You have two little connections that pull onto this bar, and then you have these two dots here that sit inside of here. So it's pretty easy, not hard to do. The next thing we have to do is we have to find the flux capacitor. Just kidding. We have to find the turbochargers. Just kidding again. The next thing we have to find is actually this connection here. And let's see. There's like a little tab that you have to push. You push it like that, and it comes off. And this one, there's a button right here, and it comes off pretty easy. Look, you can already see oil sitting inside of there. Look at that. That is insanity. So I am glad we're doing this right now. Awesome. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is you're gonna have to find your catch can. I showed this to you guys inside. Now there's a bolt right here that you're gonna have to connect it to. So all you have to do is just really let it sit on here like that, and get your bolt and your locking nut, which I don't have with me right now. I gotta go get that. And you're gonna tighten this up. So I'll show you guys what I have to do here in a second. All right, so I have the nut and the locking nut. Be careful. I almost was gonna go in there with both of these like this. Just do one at a time so you don't lose anything. I am notorious for losing stuff going into the engine bay.
I can attest.
And oh, be quiet. And you don't want to lose this in this tight engine bay. You're not getting in here. And then all you have to do now is just put your locking nut on, just like this, and you're pretty much done. So let me go ahead and get my ratchet so I do have a extender on here. I'm going to take the extender off first. I don't think I'm going to need this. Let's drop this on the ground. Let's see if I can do it just like this. Oh, I'm going to need the extender. Spoke too soon. I should have just tried it. All right, here we go. So I'm tightening it on now. Yeah, it's better to use a wrench versus this. I can be completely honest with you. But I don't have a wrench right now with me, so I'm just kind of doing what I need to do. So you don't want to over tighten this, as it says online. So I'm going to leave it the way it is right now. It's pretty tight now. All right, the very next thing we're going to do, if you have your straight fitting, this is the, I believe this is the longer hose. Yeah, this is going to be the longer hose. Remember, it's in comparison. This is the longer hose. You're going to go on with this fitting right through here. I don't know if you guys can see right there. And you just got to push it on. And it's going to have two little plastic pieces hold on to that. And what you have to do is you have to go onto this fitting. This, and you're pretty much in business. And then the next thing we have to do is add this connection right here, and it's not gonna make a clicking sound, but you can definitely tell as long as these two plastic pieces are connected to this, you're good to go. And then we're gonna just bend this on and just kind of make sure it's on nice and tight. And that's pretty much it. I did notice this is kind of moving a little bit, so I'm gonna put a little bit more elbow grease on this, not too much. You don't want to over tighten this. That should be good right there. And nice and tight. These are on connected the right way. This one's on nice and tight. and then you have one last connection here. So that's pretty much it. As I said, this is easy. I was able to do it with the ratchet, but you're going to want a wrench, 17mm. It'll make the job a little bit easier in my opinion. Now, one thing I did not mention, and I'll put this at the beginning of the video, if your engine is hot, this is going to be really hard to do. So make sure that the engine is pretty much cold. Do it in the morning time before you go to work or something. This will take you about 30 minutes because you're going to have to wash your hands, you're going to put your tools up. But yeah, my supercharger is still pretty warm, but my engine block here is actually warm. So like I said, you're touching this a lot, so you will burn yourself if you are doing this right after you get off of a drive. So all we have to do now is just, you know, check all your fittings, make sure everything's nice and tight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start the engine up, let it run before I put the engine cover back on. I just want to make sure everything is good to go. So the only thing that you're not going to put back on is this piece here. So this is basically going to go in my trunk because you don't want to throw this away just in the event that if you have a check engine light come on for something totally different from what you just did. You don't want them to see this because this could void your warranty depending on who you talk to. So I think this is a good thing for the engine. Some people have mixed feelings about it, but for me, this is what I'm going to do, and I think this is a good addition to helping keep this engine clean. And then when you need to empty this out, all you have to do, and you're going to have to do this with gloves too, you got to untighten this slow, and then you will see your oil in here. And just be careful with these types of things too. You want to make sure that you don't strip out these connections. And you want to make sure this has a nice hand tighten too, not too tight, just tight enough to where oil won't leak out of it. And there you go.
How often will they have to change this or check it?
Now I said this inside, my wife has a really good question for you guys. How often are you going to change this? I would say check it once a month, see how much is in there. If there's not a lot, you can check it every 2 months and then every 90 days. Now I don't know if I'd go 90 days. I don't know how much oil is going to be in here, because I've never owned a car like this before. So I'm going to do a follow-up, as I said, just to let you guys know, how often you're going to have to change it. But I would just say check it every week, not when you install it, just to make sure. I mean, this car has 1,000 miles on it now, and as you guys saw in this hose fitting, there's oil inside of this thing. Like, there's oil inside of this with 1,000 miles. So I'm venturing to say you'll probably have to change this once a month from what I see from this piece here. But yeah, definitely save this piece here. And just be sure, we're going to start the engine up and we're going to just check to make sure everything's good to go. Alright guys, so all we gotta do now is just clean off all your connections here, or just clean off your catch can I should say, because all your fingerprints are on this and you want to make it look nice and neat. And that's pretty much it for that. Lastly, you got to put your engine cover back on. I recommend just putting these two buttons back in first. There you go. So pop those in, push this in, done. And really good fitment. Like I said, everything fits back nicely. No problems there. You can just, if you want, you can always turn this a little bit more like that to help with fitment, but we're all set. Thank you guys again for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and you're going to see more footage on this 2020 Dodge Charger Hellcat. Peace.